Good evening from Dubai. Good afternoon to Matthew, and good evening, late evening to Famir as well. Van, good evening. Welcome to the panel of discussion AI for productivity. Good evening, Ishwar. How are you doing today?
Hi, good evening, Jason. Good evening to fellow panelists and all the LinkedIn Live listeners across. Thank you for asking, Jason. Looking forward to it.
Amazing. As part of our panel discussion, we are going to discuss a very important topic, artificial intelligence, and how it can link towards productivity. And the panelists, we have expert panel from around the world. We've been lucky enough to connect Switzerland to India to Dubai. And let me give the opportunity to the panelists to introduce themselves. We'll start with on my left hand side, Matthew. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, of course. So, yeah, hi, my name is Matthew. I have been working for over 9 years on the area of software testing. This has been in several different industries like tech, a little bit of pharma, and quite a lot of financial services. In this time, I managed to become like the go-to person on everything that has to do with software testing. I also managed to become one of the first people to really use like new software testing tools so that I can introduce it to software engineering or to the software testing team. In my spare time, I also founded a group. It's called Zurich Coffee Talk, and this is about everything that has to do with Zurich and Switzerland over a cup, while drinking a cup of coffee too. So if you guys would like to join, surely you're most welcome to do so. And yeah, now I'm sitting here, trying to share my knowledge about anything that has to do with AI and how it can increase productivity.
Wonderful. And we've been connected on the Zurich Coffee Club. It's amazing. People come, drink coffee, share their experiences uh, from Zurich. Van, over to you. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
My name is Van, and I'm originally from Europe. I've been living in Dubai for the last 15 years, and I have extensive experience in hardware, software, and development as well. And even today, I still do developments, and I span both the ICT and the IoT sectors. So I have experience in manufacturing, electronics, as well as software development, large scale. Used to be a consultant for S&P 500, FTSE 100. I've done a lot of large and small projects. And now we're at the crossroads of a new way going forward for the whole world. And this is AI will just eat everything in its path in the next 10 years.
Okay. Thank you, Van. Thanks for joining in. We'll discuss with you on different areas of different topics today. Famir, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Famir Shah. I've been into the IT industry for around 22 years at the moment, and have been looking into various technology side of things. And right now, I'm working with Merchant Solutions as a director of operations. We are kind of providing software solutions into the aerospace domain, and also a few retail industries and manufacturing domain as well. So on the AI part, I'm really looking forward to this discussion. So I just want to share whatever bit I can bring in from the experience and kind of knowledge that I can contribute to the discussion on the table today. Looking forward to it.
Ishwar, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Thank you, Jason. I'm a supply chain professional. I've been in the region for almost 2 decades here headquartered in Dubai, spanning various kind of projects, overseeing various kinds of transformations happening in the field of procurement and supply chain. I have almost 3 decades of experience. Started off my career back home in India.
Thank you. Thank you, the panel, for introducing themselves. So we'll quickly jump onto the topic AI for productivity. And before that, let me give you some insights. Basically, this is from a Future of Works report by McKinsey and Company on AI and automation trends. 74% of respondents reported that AI tools are effectively automating repetitive tasks like data entry, payroll, scheduling. And 58% of respondents cited AI chatbots and virtual assistants as the primary tools used to automate customer inquiries, freeing up employees to handle more complex cases. And 45% mentioned AI is now used to generate routine reports, improve efficiency, and allowing workers to focus on higher level analysis. So, based on this report and some other reports by Deloitte as well, uh, we've been we have to discuss this topic into detail, and we will deconstruct this topic basically into productivity and how AI can improve efficiency in general. So let's discuss on how AI can increase productivity by improving repetitive tasks or maybe automating the repetitive task in the workplace, and also in terms of how it can play a major and important role in the decision-making process, especially for business. Let's take it from the side of a software consultant. Matthew, would you like to start with the panel discussion, then see how it can culminate or make progress into a business decision-making model?
Yeah, okay. So yeah, for like the last year, I've been using quite a lot of AI, also with software testing. So then, yeah, during that time, I figured out that, yeah, there are a few ways indeed that AI can be like very useful. One of the areas is with the creation of test cases. So this is like which steps someone has to take in order to verify that the software is working. Like, okay, log into a page, click here and there, and then do this and that, and then okay, you get a certain result, and that is something that's you can write a script about, say like, okay, these steps can be taken. So if the computer can help out with that, that can save us quite a lot of time. So increase the productivity.
Yeah.
This also applies to the test case automation. So if you want to program a computer to do the testing for you, then AI is also like very useful to help you out with that. It can create very quickly a basic so that you can like branch it out and make it more specific in specific scenarios. So that is very helpful also to really get you started, because if you have to write everything from scratch, it can sometimes get a bit hard, and like sometimes you also like don't have any inspiration, like, okay, how am I going to start? And over there, I think that AI can help out pretty well with that. Another thing where it's very useful is also with taking notes when you're in meetings, especially with clients, and then sometimes your attention, it wavers a little bit, and then like if there's something that can really like keep track of like what's going on, then that's also very useful. Apart from that, there are also a few other things that are a little bit more futuristic, actually, like being like more predictive. Like if they are expecting problems in the future, that's AI could be used for that. Or else there's also like the test case maintenance. This is also maybe something that if the software changes, that the test cases that they change with them. But I have been looking around for any commercial solutions. They're not very widely available yet. So then, if you really want to come with that, you would really have to program it yourself, actually. So at least this is what I see on the area of software testing mainly.
Yeah, so that's from the back end, which Matthew had briefly discussed. Van, would you like to take it forward and maybe based on your experience can add in more expertise here?
I think we have to differentiate between the different groups of assets that AI can assist. Let's say, for example, one is the personal one, the other one is the business, and the third one is the society in general itself. So in these three areas, AI can help in different ways. So what we have seen so far in the vast majority of cases around the world, because we've been through phase 0 in AI, now we are on phase 2. Phase 1 was last year when all the LLMs came out. This year will be all the agentic AI that will take hold, and then we'll have further stages until 2030. Anyway, so we have the personal one. The most important one is the ability to, as Matthew said, that's the ability to help you in your daily task. You don't have an idea about something, you can quickly ask AI to deliver something quickly for you, and so on and so forth. The business one, we will see it from this year onwards, and that has to do with agentic AI. So the biggest productivity gain for business will be, fortunately or unfortunately, the replacement of people with AI. That will be where most businesses will focus on. And, a lot of people can argue about the pros and cons, but, progress will be progress, and unfortunately it will be unstoppable. And the third one, this is where the major benefits are, in my opinion, is society. And when I say society, I mean science, mathematics, physics, astrobiology, you name, AI is touching all those domains. And we have seen vast improvements in those. I will not give any details right now, but vast improvements. And for me, the moving forward AI will be very beneficial for the society itself, because it's the most advanced AI anywhere right now.
Yeah. So AI and jobs replacing manpower is a very debatable subject. Famir, would you like to add something here based on what Van and Matthew said?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So a couple of areas which I think AI can really add value, into the work ecosystem, or probably beyond that as well, into the society as well would be. So I'll talk a little bit about the IT operations, which is what I really do my regular operations. So in that domain, or in the operations part, I think we can implement AI to have the automatic monitoring done, and some of those what do you call the common IT-related issues, very predictable, very straightforward stuff can be handled by AI itself. We can enable that. We can have a wider level of coverage and immediate response in getting the incidents or kind of a hiccups or glitch in the network being really mitigated at the earliest possible, which gives the maximum uptime, which we can, kind of commit to the customers. But when it comes to AI and jobs, right? So when it comes to, I'm getting back to the original track, is basically, I would like to see, and I see AI as a capability. Obviously, it's a capability, and it's as a tool which should be assisting and controlled by humans to be, operating it to have a better efficiency and effectiveness in the operations, or in anything that we do. It could be, providing some trend analysis for a particular network, for an environment, for a data center, for a cloud environment, and suggesting what should be, done proactively, so that you could have maintenance done earlier. You could do certain. You could see some kind of behavior happening, and that's reported back into the monitoring system, or to the respective teams, and mitigation could be done. But when it comes to replacement of jobs, yes and no. The yes part would be, if we are having employees doing just the mundane jobs, just monotonous types and operating stuff, yes, AI could do that. But when it comes to certain decision-making process, there are certain decision-making which can be allowed via AI, but there are many others which we think we need human intelligence. So I still go by the option that we should have AI capability added into our systems or our environment, which could be managed and controlled by human. So we get a larger brain power with the help of all the results with the help of AI, but we as humans should be taking the step to take certain decisions, which should be very constructive and should be part of our or supporting our interest. So that's my take on AI. And replacement of jobs, when we get to that point, is basically yes. as I said before, but non-human perspective where we need to have humans take the decision for the company, for the business, for the well-being of the society overall. So I think the replacement of jobs is kind of a debatable topic. But yes, partly it may replace, but on a larger extent, I think it cannot be. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it not be. Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Yeah. So AI is a tool, it's an enabler. And as Farmer mentioned, an important term there, empathy. Ishwar, we've been talking about this subject on our podcast, on our webinar. AI can't replace human, and human need AI to survive. So, what's your take on this? Because, as Farmer mentioned, human intelligence is required. So, what's your take on this particular area of discussion?
Thank you, Jason. And I echo all the panelists here. I mean, we've several points to be assimilated, but what I would say is AI-driven automation, it's only going to make repetitive tasks, the one how you introduce the session, it is going to make the repetitive tasks a thing of the past. It's going it's going to bury the repetitive task. So it's going to do away with jobs like data entry or scheduling something, customer support. We are seeing in the region how customer support has been entirely replaced, or how bots are actually taking over, addressing certain mundane tasks, I would say, that usually consumes a lot of time. The latest reports which I see where the tasks that require a lot of data processing, decision making, so, based on whatever the kind of rules which are set into the processes where it calls for automation. So, AI can handle those elements, say, for example, sorting or having endless emails, scheduling meetings, or even chatting with customers, or you can leave it to that, and then you can easily have your own coffee breaks, or you can spend time more on that. So I feel AI, though it's doing the boring stuff, it can take over and let humans tackle the most exciting or the impactful kind of a thing, like what kind of decision making has to happen, what are the various alternatives. Let the intelligence part still remain on the human front. So I would say it's like, I think Famir had mentioned that it's going to be an add-on on your toolkit. So it will make the people more smarter, not harder. Like earlier, we used to listen, you do more hard work. Now it's not hard work, it's more of smart work, and how you make use of the AI for your own sustainability. So I think the opportunities are growing. The opportunities are not narrowing down, but only thing is it has been redefined. New skill sets will come in play. New skill sets will have demand. AI related new enhancements, it will be there. And AI, we'll have to only thing uh, what the community or the people or the potential aspirants are in that. Like I think Van touched upon beautifully, saying that one is a people element, one is a business element, and else. So it is you have that choice, and you will have to make use of it to the best of your ability, so that you remain competitive.
Yeah.
It's going to give you the competitive edge when compared to the rest of the players in either in the industry or in any sector wherever you can make use of it.
Yeah. And I think AI tools, we need to discuss now with some kind of tools and development which are being seen around the world. Uh, Out of that tools, let's discuss on IoT devices, because Van, I know you've been working on this particular segment as well. Uh, I want to hear from the back end as well and the front end, because Matthew would be very interested for the software development, the back end programming and stuff like that. But from the front end, IoT hardware, IoT solutions, do you see a boom in this kind of industry, Van?
Not at present. I just want to elaborate a little bit on some of the comments made beforehand.
Yeah.
If you look at the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, and if you look on how the information technology took over the world, is that AI is unstoppable. And a lot of us make the mistake to think about how AI is today. But if you think how AI will be in 3 years, it will be totally different from what we have today. I mean, really different. The time scales, the pace of change is going to accelerate in time, really accelerate. So what is true today, it will not be true tomorrow. And the reality is that all jobs will go. They will go because AI will definitely match humans in the not too long distance. I mean, possibly in a couple of years' time. Once AI matches humans in terms of intelligence, that's it, game over. A business, I mean, just to give you an idea, why would a business employ a human and not employ an AI if the rate of error is similar? AI makes similar errors to humans. I mean, anytime a business will select AI, anytime. And also, I'm not against, and I will talk about the IoT right now. I'm not against the fact that today AI is not perfect, for sure. It makes mistakes, it hallucinates, it does a lot of things. So it does need supervision, but that point will disappear in the future. Will supervise humans possibly instead of so in IoT it's very difficult today, AI. The reason is that for IoT to work it needs 99% accuracy. So there's no point raising an alarm, for example, if that is not more or less certain. So AI right now at the IoT level is about 60% accurate only. So there is some way to go in terms of IoT for getting better. So the truth is that on any tool, productivity and some other things we will be discussed later, especially on critical tasks, human supervision is required today. It has to be there to check the output of AI. So, we will see, possibly have this discussion again at the end of the year and see how things progress. But right now for IoT, AI is not there yet. We're still playing around, but it's not reliable enough yet to let it loose.
Yeah. Matthew, would you like to add something?
Yeah, like a few months ago, I bought something to iron my clothes, and it seemed to be quite intelligent indeed. That it would know when it should steam and when it should not steam. So I had the impression it was it had some kind of an AI, but sometimes it did make some mistakes also. So then it was steaming, and then I was all shocked, like, oh no, I don't want to steam here. So yeah, it could be a bit tricky sometimes. I confirm.
A lot of times, a lot of people confuse, normal algorithmic methods with stochastic methods. For AI to work, you require stochastic methods in your modeling. So basically, you require randomness. And a lot of tools, the IoT that seem to be, intelligent and everything else, they are not, stochastic models. They are just linear models that work on algorithmic principles.
True. Famir, in your digital transformation expertise, have you seen the implementation of IoT devices and AI being really implemented?
So I myself have very little experience in IoT, from a professional standpoint. but I've given some thoughts. I've been following certain IoT innovations. So I think if I just generalize the term instead of just saying IoT, AI can be implemented anywhere. I think wherever it's possible, wherever it's needed. But and as Van said, in a couple of years' time, we will not we'll be talking about AI from a very different dimension, probably, or from a different perspective altogether, or the version or the definition of it could also even change. But I think there is a kind of kind of a line that we need to draw before in alignment with the innovation to see what we need for the humanity or the mankind to have to reap the benefits of AI very constructively to support. I still stand with that point where we need AI to support humans or the society or the innovations and as much as possible, which brings in value, rather than in a while when we see that it's capable of overriding human intelligence for any reason. I think that's as Van said, game over. And should we let the game to end is the question. So I think that's one thing which I'll be really cautious about, and especially when it comes to IoT. Again, if there are certain, if the devices can do a certain task which can reduce our daily activity, and that doesn't involve any kind of risk. I mean, when I say risk, it's the life endangering or something like that. Okay, if we have something from a danger perspective, I think we need to be really cautious about implementing AI with it. But otherwise, if it's going to really help our daily routine and daily activities, and even at the office, at home, or anywhere in the common societal spaces, I think yeah, we should promote that as well. So IoT, yes, but at the same time, when the big clause on the danger portion word can cause the risk could not be afforded by any life, for example. In such cases, we have to really be re-looking into it, or put regulations there, or kind of have a draw the line pretty thicker in that one. I believe that.
Yeah, and I think creativity is also compromised at some stages, especially with ChatGPT coming into the picture. Matthew, have you faced certain challenges in terms of actually thinking out of the box? Has it limited your creativity in any case studies where you have worked closely with business owners?
On the area, well, what I do know is that sometimes it helps creativity. Like if it just starts with the base, then it's then if you can just branch out from there, I think it's very good in the creative process to indeed to develop it. But yeah, sometimes also what I forgot to mention was actually also about the image recognition that AI could be using. So then, yeah, like the AI, it could guess indeed about on this. If it sees a few things on the screen, then it's things like, okay, maybe this is a button or maybe not. So then, yeah, there's always, like Van said, there's always a bit of uncertainty. So then, yeah, in that case, if one button, for example, if it's just a little bit different, then also then yeah, then it can't handle it. Then we have to manually step in to say like, no, this is not a button. This element should be that, for example. It's yeah. So then it becomes a little bit more. You have to tell it like quite a lot of basic things. So then yeah, it's I had the feeling indeed that sometimes it did indeed hamper my creativity indeed.
Ryan, would you like to add something here?
No, I mean, I would amplify Matthew's points. The only thing I want to say is that coming back to Famir a little bit, is that AI will definitely replace humans. We as humans need to rethink our place in the universe. Society has to be reinvented, and this is the solution to this. The solution is not to stop AI, or it's going to take my job or whatever. Actually, we should welcome this, but we should also prepare for when this is going to happen. We are ready with the proper structures in society to deal with this. For example, when most of us will be out of work, what are we going to do? We just need to start thinking about this now. we need a way to engage ourselves in the new society that is coming. Your future. If you have children, the friends of your children will most likely be synthetic robots, not the robots we know today that are mechanical and artificial. It will be synthetic, will made from biological matter, and that's the future. And this is true also if we're going to become a spacefaring species. We want to travel across the universe, or even our solar system. We need to change our bodies. There's no escaping that, really. So we just need to start thinking a different way, in my opinion.
Yeah, but my point is that direction that we want to look forward to is the point. Is the direction in which we see that we want to be replaced by the AI. I mean, that's the point earlier I was trying to emphasize. Generally.
You see, some of us want, others don't want, others have a different opinion. There should be a space for everyone on this planet. That's my take on this.
Yeah. No, everybody has their own perspective. Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Yeah. No, very interesting perspective. In fact, yeah, it should be. We are thinking of exploring Mars and Moon landing and so on and so forth. Research is happening on the area of looking into whether water is available on the moon. So interesting times ahead. I'm sure with AI, let's see. Maybe it would be possible, or we can have a universal universe trip. As it is, the globe is shrinking. Maybe the universe trip also would be a possibility. Why not? Let's embrace it.
And it's when AI meets quantum, then things change forever.
Absolutely, yeah. Now quantum is the next most happening thing across.
Yeah.
Coming to Van's point on replacing humans or even losing a job, losing a job it's no surprises these days, because especially after the pandemic, people are now prepared. In fact, now it's the question of the business houses and the businesses to think how are they going to run business without humans, and for whom are they going to make the solutions for. So very interesting times ahead. And how are they going to make use of the disruptive technologies? Every day we are coming up with new technologies. So creativity is going to be the key element. So like how we are sitting at some part of the world and connecting the entire world. That's going to be, I think, the new norm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have, I think, discussed the basics there, and we have explored different directions onto where AI is good, AI is for productivity, whether it can replace human. Now let's talk about the integration part, which is very important. For a business, there are different tools and softwares running in the background, and when there is a process of integration, AI integrated tools, there is always a challenge. And I would hear from a back-end perspective also, Matthew, you can start with the discussion. What are the challenges you face, and how you overcome this, especially in the development stage? And then we'll go to the front end where Famir and Van can also add in their experiences.
Where I used to work indeed with financial services, of course, there's always a very big concern about security. Because quite a lot of AI resources they're being used online, and this is one of the things that lots of financial service companies they're very reluctant about, because anytime they are going to send out any information online or send out any request, there will always be some information available, which of course other people there could be very interesting about, like, okay, like what are they working on exactly, or what kind of software are they using. This information is of course like very useful for them, but of course the financial institutions they're totally not they're not very eager to share this type of information. So that's why what do you call it? That's one of the risks that we have to deal with.
Van, would you want to add something here?
Yeah. First of all, we just need to be clear about the environment we live in today. AI for small business is a no-go right now, because whatever people say, AI is a very, very expensive business today. And there are two ways to deploy AI. One way is to use the cloud. Another way is to do it locally. And for big organizations, the issue today with local AI is that the LLMs, the models, they don't have the same capability as the cloud models.
Yes.
This is going to change possibly next year. I mean, it started this year with DeepSeek, which has almost similar capabilities to ChatGPT, but just running in local mode. I mean, how fantastic is that? So for small business, this is possibly a no-go. The other thing I want to say is that only from this year, I mean, actually, the last couple of months of last year, it started, we will see agentic systems coming out. So these will be able to work on entire workflows. So, you can create different pipelines to address a specific, say, business problem or a specific business task that is being made. The issue with all of this is that this is not, if you go online, you will see, vendor X saying no code, just drag and drop and whatever. But this is not the reality, though. The truth is this, is if you're going to use cloud infrastructure, you require API access. So you will have to have some person who understands AI, understands technology behind this. So that's why I say AI for small business is very difficult. I mean, it's very expensive today. And the only way, if any people from small businesses are listening right now, is to get together. So businesses in the same line of business or similar line of business, they come together and they get, someone to deploy tools at the local level. Because LLM, for example, LLMs, done at the local level, not accessing the cloud at all, they're about 80% of the capabilities of, large language models that are in the cloud itself. The only difference this year with LLMs as well is most of them have become multimodal. That means there is no need to go out and, do, for example, DALI as a separate application. You just have it, inside your LLM. Local models will catch up possibly towards the end of the year. And one more thing is that do not discount the Chinese on AI. Actually, DeepSeek is a Chinese AI LLM. Now, I think it was trained on 1/10 of what ChatGPT was trained on, and it has, I think it's about 99% of the capabilities of ChatGPT. So, humans, as always, break every expectation and just move forward. So, I see a lot of this. And one final thing is that a lot of research that is done in AI today, a lot of this is using AI to accelerate the rate of progress itself. So it's not only humans thinking, it's also AI thinking or assisting in accelerating the progress on all of this.
Yeah. Famir, you want to add something?
Yeah, so I think the point was around integration challenges, right?
Yeah.
So one of those which I can think of is like basically as Van said, it's the cost. It's not it's a no-go at the moment for small companies. At the same time, it invites a lot of the other side of the challenges which I see is not from a technical perspective. It's from an adaptation perspective. It's more from, for example, if you want to have a kind of AI system built into an office environment to monitor the employees' uptime or their productivity and stuff like that, and compare so what kind of task has been completed in what speed, and if that is used to compare with the capabilities between the employees, or so the acceptance of a space where you need to have the team or your employees to use it and stay with it, and to understand what exactly it's for. That's one of the challenge which you might see within the company, which is really a challenge, and which invites a lot of tensions or concerns within the employees itself. So I think that is something which we need to really be careful about, and this also invites certain kind of questions on the privacy
Yes.
standpoint. What all data it's been analyzed, and so there will be a lot of sessions and employee engagement programs where you need to let them know that these are the stuffs which we are monitoring, and this is all that we monitor, and should be clear and very transparent about that. But at the same time, there could be furthermore questions raised and concerns raised around the job security and what's going to happen here, that is, and all, and no, I don't want to support it, and a lot of other challenges that I see in getting this adapted within the environment. So that's probably my bit which I wanted to share here.
You mentioned an important point for the privacy policy, which is very important. You have to check what the companies are doing with the data collected, and you fill up different forms online, and where does your data go, your email addresses. It's very important for me, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So
you see, that is an issue. If you use this for personal purposes, or as a business, you decided to go, cloud. But if you do local, there's no barriers. The reason is that a business owns the data, so they can do anything they want without anybody telling them what they can do or cannot do with their data.
Yeah, exactly. Also, on the area of finance, they always, of course, they want to mitigate the risks. So then over there, they also have like something it's called like AI governance. So then over there, they can create like guidelines, okay, like how to use the AI, how to implement it. There's at least somebody that at least takes care of it.
Yeah, there is a body, but it's coming back down to the fact that how implementation or how effective is the implementation in each companies where data is captured, and then the privacy is of the top priority. Coming back to the question of, or maybe the focus on discussion on the tracking, because now we have to discuss on how this data is being tracked and what is the effective usage of this data for increasing the productivity of the business. Have you encountered any kind of case studies in terms of AI which is being used for productivity boost? Famir, maybe you can start.
So yeah, I can think of an example where we can analyze certain trends. So again, coming from a data center and a cloud monitoring perspective, there are a lot of incidents that occur on a timely manner based on the usage of the system by the users, right? Now, what happens is that certain systems in certain fashion or creates trends of hiccups. It could be a database side, it could be anything from that for that matter. So analyzing those trends proactively, and the key here is proactive, because we don't want the incident to occur, rather than we want to find out what exactly is happening well in advance, and let our customers know, or let our solution team within a company be aware of it, or the R&D team, and get them develop a solution for it before we encounter the problem. So looking at the proactive method is one of the key which I could really use AI for. And when it comes to human intelligence, this is where AI stands ahead. There could be many areas, many trends that we might, as humans, might miss out in terms of identifying trends and analysis. And so AI can give you, or you can depend on AI to give you all sort of combinations or problems or areas which you can be proactive really. And then, as a business owner or the business itself can really take the decision about what should be done. That's where we use the human intelligence to take, okay, as a business or from a solution perspective, do we want to do this first or that first? I mean, AI can tell you, but I think it should be still the human who should be taking it, but we can enable AI to get all sort of combinations and options that's available within the system and the trends that we can see, which can help the human to take informed decisions, basically.
Yeah. Van, you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue today is that the LLMs, their window, I mean, basically the size of the window they can have to process local data is not very big. And the reason why it's not very big is because if you make it too big, the AI loses its memory completely. It cannot remember anymore what it's doing. So there is progress that's going to be made this year. Hopefully, by the end of the year, we'll have new models that will work on almost infinite memory, the temporal memory, that is. So, the challenge always today is that if your data rate in real time is not large enough, you can process it in AI in real time. The issue is that can you trust the information that you will get out of it? So sometimes, I mean, for me at least at the present, a better solution would be to address it algorithmically, not through AI. So you create an algorithmic solution that a human checks, and they get exception reports, not all the data required to monitor the specific asset or whatever it is you want to do. So in the past I have said that for IoT, which is this is an ICT function, but is part of the greater IoT, is processing sensors basically. Not there yet, we're still a little bit of way ahead. But if you are willing to put AI as well as a human to just verify the results, then it can be a productive outcome.
Yeah, I think that's where the blockchain also is referred to these days, by verification and the ledger verifications as well. Matthew, you want to add something in respect to the tracking part?
Yeah, of course. What I can imagine is that AI can also be used for like the cybersecurity, internet security, especially also with finance. It's also a lot about security that AI is being used quite a lot. Also because there are like certain patterns that could be used. Well, unfortunately, I'm not a security expert. Otherwise, I could talk a bit more about that. But yeah, but I can imagine that AI could also be used quite a lot in that area.
Yeah. Great. We are almost to the end of the session, and before closing out, I would like to give the opportunity to Ishwar for his concluding remarks, and then we'll move to Van and Matthew and Famir as well.
Thank you, Jason. I think it was very interesting session. There's a lot of takeaways. And I think AI is reshaping, I would say, the productivity across industries in automating various repetitive tasks and enhancing the decision-making capabilities and optimizing various processes. So it was a great session, and looking forward for the follow-up sessions from the panelists. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, Van, 2 minutes from your end as well.
Yeah, I hope I'll be fast. Is this year, it has to be agentic AI, which we'll hopefully talk in a future session as well. But this is the most important thing right now, is the ability to connect different AI systems to create business or even personal workflows. But for most will be the business benefit for that. because AI in the past was very fragmented. You have to use an LLM, a human has to use it, then you feed the output to something else, and so on and so forth. With agentic systems, you can feed the output of one pipeline or one system into another one, and so on until your workflow is complete. That way, you can possibly, reduce the assets required or the costs even of the operation of the business.
Yeah, Samir.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a great session, and a lot of insights, different perspectives to learn from. It's always great to talk, and it's always great to listen and learn. So, which is ongoing stuff. So, yeah, so AI is evolving anyway, in a speed which probably it's difficult to even refer to, but I think giving so since AI is learning by itself, and we can, if we are able to feed in the or regulate the kind of data which should be fed in to learn by the AI, I think that could be something which can bring in some balance between the AI and the human, and probably the more than the balance, I would say, fit in. But I know we have different opinions in the way AI can evolve. So I'm not getting into that part of the discussion, but still, it was a great discussion today, and it's great insights from Van, Matthew, Ishwar. It's great, and thanks, Jason, for organizing this. Really, really was really useful and informative.
Great. Matthew, I think you are the last before winding up.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So then, yeah, what I noticed indeed was that with AI, quite a lot of basic functions that they can be replaced indeed. And what I also hear indeed is that lots of junior positions, it's going to threaten them quite a lot, especially now when the market is getting a little bit more tight, especially here in Switzerland also. But yeah, from my end, then I would be thinking like, well, yeah, AI, it's also an opportunity to create lots of creativity, actually, to just take the basics like as a starting point and just branch out from there to also do like more of the creative things, so that yeah, you can get something nice out of it.
Yeah. We'll keep this conversation up and running over the next few months. As Van said, this year is going to be a transformational year in the language of AI. And let's keep this conversation going. Thanks a lot, Matthew, Famir, Van, from joining from 3 different parts of the world, although Van is local to me because we are in Dubai. And thanks, Famir, for taking the time. It's too late, I believe, in India as well now. Matthew, thanks a lot for joining in. Ishwar, thanks a lot for being the part of the panel as well.